Hi and welcome to another edition of latest transfer news. And the latest transfer news is that Eberichi Eze is his his release clause is expiring today, which is the 1st of August 2025. His release clause is expiring today, and it is whether Arsenal want to negotiate. I'm sure Arsenal want to negotiate with Crystal Palace over the potential signing of Eberici Eze. So that may mean that the release clause expires, but it will mean that Arsenal will be able to negotiate a fee for Eberici Eze. Now, is the sticking point there is, do Crystal Palace want to sell? You know, but in saying that, the player himself has already agreed personal terms to the best of my knowledge. So uh, it is up in the air for Eberici Eze. Do Arsenal set the release clause? Do they set the release clause alight today, 1st of August, or do they let it expire and see if they can negotiate a better deal somewhere around the £60 million mark or even £50 million mark? They might be able to get £50 million depending on what Crystal Palace, or do Crystal Palace say they want 100 million? You know, the release clause is set at £68 million. So do they want more for Eze? Is a question. But that left-handed side of the Arsenal team does need some work, because the match against Tottenham wasn't that great. The left hand looked out of sync in some ways. It was always the ball was always going out to the right hand side to Bukayo Saka. Not enough times on the left hand side. Not enough penetration on the left hand side of the field, and the players not playing up to the required standard on the left hand side. So that means either Trossard and Martinelli will need to step up their play, or do they bring somebody in? Eberici Eze, he can play there, but he's a midfielder. Do they need to get in Rodrigo as well? That's the question for Arteta and Berta and for the players to discuss. So after that, we know of Reece Nelson on the verge of a move to Fulham. This is just a quick update on that. It's still loan with obligation to buy for around about 20 million. And Sinchenko is also garnishing interest from Fulham as well. And Leandro Trossard could be the one making being the sacrificial lamb. He could be on his way to Borussia Dortmund. And if Leandro Trossard moves out, then that will mean that that will mean that that will mean that Eze and Rodrigo are possibilities. I would think. So that's all the news for today, 1st of August. If there is some breaking news. The breaking news is that the breaking news is that Newcastle have rejected a £120 million bid for Alexander Isak. It's a bit of news that is not Arsenal related, but it is still football related, and it there's a knock on effect. Essentially, Alexander Isak leaving Newcastle United would mean that Newcastle United have got a vacant spot, and then they would need to fill that vacant spot, and they were looking at Sesko, but is Sesko the striker? Is Sesko is the striker for Newcastle? We don't know. But Sesko is interested in maybe going to Manchester United. He may see that as a better proposition. So it is there's the knock-on effect of the one Alexander Isak possibly got moving from Newcastle United. But now Newcastle United have a big problem because Alexander Isak is training. He's in Real Sociedad or he's in Spain, wherever he is. He's training alone by himself. He's not with the group of players that went over to Asia and wherever else they're going for their preseason tour. So they have a big problem on their hands. But Liverpool have put in their first bid, and it is a bid of 120 million or whatever, and it has been rejected by Newcastle United. So it is the 1st of August. I believe the transfer window is open for another 4 weeks. I think it's 4 weeks. It closes 1st of September. So there is gonna be it's gonna be an exciting time, and don't forget the Premier League starts in 2 weeks' time on the 17th of August, I believe. Uh, so it's exciting times. Thank you.